afternoon, Australia, and good evening, Pennsylvania.
And good evening, Texas.
It is
True.
evening. Yes, it is.
Yay. Look at
Well,
us all over the world.
all over the world. Yep, yep. Um, I am really excited that Birgit Lueders, president of IPA, could give us some time today. Um, we have the big Iridology conference coming up the 23rd of February, and she's going to be moving, not completely off the board, but she's moving out of the president's position into the past president's position. And Christos is going to get to retire for a little while and take a break. So we're having a shift, but I'm real excited to talk to Birgit and kind of do kind of a final interview with her since she's still president for a few more weeks.
Exactly. I'm
And we,
happy
we
you
want to
got
pick
me.
her brain. What do you think about that, Chris?
I think that's a great idea. Yeah, it's
Good.
like an exit. It's like an exit interview.
Yeah, it is like an
Yeah.
exit interview. Yes, it is. It is.
Love it.
Yeah. Well, would you like to start us off with a question for
Yeah.
Birgit? Okay.
So, Birgit, what do you feel like you've accomplished the things that you wanted to?
Good. The first, before I even got on, I had a talk with Kathy, and she says, "What do you want to accomplish?" Right?
Yeah.
And so in my case, I was saying I'm definitely towards the continuing education and getting a advanced level out, right? And so
Yes.
that's exactly, I think, what I'm most proud is that we have level 3, that we pulled through it, we give birth to this baby. It's ready to go. Everybody has access to level 3 advanced education now if you're associated with IPA. And that was a big, big deal. I think so, because Kathy, you remember that we've always talked about we have so much material, but we have not put it together into a course, which is the advanced course, level 3. And that is the what I'm most proud that I did what I said I would do. And the second best, I just squeezed that out in the last few months before I leave, because I was always talking that we should have like a library of all our webinars, workshops, summits, where you can go in like Netflix. And I even said constantly, like, we need to work on a Netflix for iridologists. And this is exactly what I just kind of almost like my last few day hooray as a president. I'm sticking this on my list of I have done it. I talked about it, and I actually put it in existence before I put the next president on the seat. And I'm so proud because it really actually the real launch will be at my last symposium as the president. So we call it iFlix, and it's exactly what that means. It's like the library access. You can have monthly memberships. So before I go into details, that is the biggest thing. I think I did almost think I will not get it done, but I did. And I was actually fascinated because that just would have been another few years talking about.
Yeah. And it just looks fantastic. And like for an iridologist, it's like Disneyland. Like there's all these amazing webinars. Like
Yes.
I don't think there's anything else available to iridologists where they can just go in and look up behavioral iridology or personality iridology or this iridology or that, and just look up topics and literally
Yeah.
watch
Can you
these.
imagine? Can you
Yeah,
imagine when you were a student, Kathy, or you, Christos, we would have had access to this? I mean,
yeah,
this is unheard of for us. We had to write books and ourselves, like Kathy, and we had to
yeah,
translate books. I had a lot of German books, and we had to like really struggle. And now they have such easy access with the
yeah,
people who learn from all those books, but giving it more into an entertaining way by a
yeah.
PowerPoint and on a video. I mean, I would have given anything for that at that time when I
Yeah.
studied.
Yeah, I'm really proud of that too. It looks fantastic, and I'm really excited for you to launch it.
Me too.
I'm
Yeah.
excited too. I'm very
Well,
excited.
my next question was going to be, what are you most proud of? But we've kind of done that. But
Exactly.
you like this has been you've been president for 4 years because of the pandemic, and it's been real so many changes. Like really, like and we've only really been able to meet this will be your first symposium where you're the
Yeah.
president in
Yes.
person.
But you know,
How
it
does
was
that
really
been for you?
funny. It was really funny because I go into the history of the president who was never in person. Like if that symposium would have not happened right now in San Diego, I would have been the, but you know what, honestly, when you said what I'm proud of it the most too, was actually to keep the community intact even throughout COVID.
Yeah.
And I think this is like almost like something that I'm proud of that I wasn't even planning. You know what I mean? Because as a president, you wanna make sure that they understand IPA is all about belonging to a family. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And so when COVID broke out, I was a little worried how it's gonna work out. And I immediately jumped on the best form of like, learning everything about Zoom and Facebook groups and everything instantly within short time. And we were ready to go in the first year. We never missed a symposium. And I had this feeling, I don't know, you were all part from the virtual symposiums online. I think it was really fun, actually, wasn't
Yeah.
it?
Yeah, they were great.
Yeah.
I didn't know how that would work, and I was really proud of how it all happened.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mhm.
It was real
like,
smooth.
We basically lived in a basement for
yeah.
like 2 or 3 days running it.
To a certain point, I said to my daughter when she came down, I'm like, look, I have this many people on, and if I turn electricity on, the whole meeting breaks down. So it was kind of like scary, but at the same time, I realized that even when it was virtual, when we saw each other, I felt so connected. Did you guys feel that too?
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
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 So
Well,
Yeah.
that
when I
was,
first ran a webinar at Zoom, I was so dubious about it, but I was amazed at how you can create such a strong connection.
mhm, yeah.
It was so surprising to me.
Yeah, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So that is one thing that I'm actually proud without ever having any intention in this field to become like an entertainer on a virtual Zoom call.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like every year we had more and more people actually joining because they heard how much fun it was. And
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
that's why this year at the symposium in person, we have lots of fun things going to, but now we can actually see each other.
Well, it was created out of necessity and it
Yes.
worked. It's something that actually worked.
Yeah.
And you were able to keep it together. It was a lot of plates spinning at once, but you did it and you did a
Yeah.
fantastic job.
Thanks. Yeah.
Thank you for that.
You're welcome. And so that's like something that I'm like, whoa, it's amazing.
Yeah.
Well, I've got a question for you. And the reason I'm asking this question is because I'll have potential students ask me this, I'll have people ask me this on social media. And so I just want to throw it out there. I have an answer that I give, but I want to throw it out there. And I want Birgit to answer first, but Chris, I want you to give me your thoughts on this as well. Uh, why do you think it's important that someone becomes certified as an iridologist within IIPA?
Mhm. So I think I can link that right away of what I was just saying to become a family. So that is the first thing. You are part of a wholesomeness, and I feel like that goes deep into holistic belief anyway. We are all connected. So if you swim off on your own, you're never going to be that strong. So that is the first thing why you should be with IIPA. And then IIPA is on top of the newest research. We make sure that what we're teaching in our curriculum has been researched, has been found out and proven. So with that said, when sometimes you get education from somebody else who was not under the newest research, they might just teach something that we have found out was not true, because every year we learn new things. Even, like we always say that to people when they ask about that, well, doctors have to go every 2 years and get continuing education credits to learn the newest things or the newest way of doing something that did different 10 years ago. And that is why I think you should be certified, because you stay on top of it. You have to bring your credits in, and it forces you to stay always a student in your field.
Excellent. Chris, what do you think?
Absolutely. I want to reiterate that. Like it's important for us to keep learning. And I think that's what we do really well in IIPA. We keep learning. And like if you were gonna I remember Tony Miller telling us this story. If you were gonna go to when heart surgery first came out, it was amazing. It was like, oh my God, how can this possibly be? But if you were going to have a heart operation now, would you go to that person that started heart? No, because this, like, the technology now and the research and everything is completely different. And we're always learning. We're always learning. I think that's one. I think being a part of a family is two, but it's also trust. Like when someone looks for an iridologist through our directory, if they come through IIPA and they look for their closest iridologist, they're going to trust that those people have been taught well and are continuing to learn. So I think trust is really important.
Especially right now, right? Especially right now with all those, like, pushing down on holistic therapies all over the world. We want to be strong and proud of what we're doing, because we know we're not doing any harm and we can prove it.
Yeah.
I like being part of an association that supports me, that backs me as a certified iridologist, because I went through the core curriculum. I went through the testing procedures. I went through everything that IIPA asked me to do to be qualified to be a certified iridologist. And I feel like IIPA has my back. And to me, that's kind of like, if I was going to walk a tightrope, I'd want a net underneath me. And that's what I feel like IIPA is. It's that safety net. They support me. It's an association that I support that turns around and supports me as a certified iridologist.
Yeah, absolutely.
So that's kind of how I explain it to some new students, or people just, potential students, somebody that would just come out of the blue and just ask me, well, why do I want to be certified? But it is that core curriculum. It's knowing we all know the same thing. We all learn the same thing. Now, somebody might know a little bit more in this direction, or somebody might have taken another class, from an advanced educator and learned a little bit more. But we all know the same core curriculum. Yeah. So good. I like that. I like that answer. So I'm gonna throw a question out here again. Since you're stepping away, you're not really leaving. You're going to be the past president, so you're still going to be connected to the board. But where would you like to see the direction of IIPA in its growth?
I think right now I see that we need to be really strong with legalization of the way we talk to our clients. You know what I mean? There's like all this like legalization of our wording, how we talk. And I feel like that's something that IIPA can get really strong in it. So we all feel confident that we know that we will never ever have any, problems, with any kind of government bodies. And I think this is where I want to see IIPA stepping into the next few years stronger.
Good. Yeah. I like that.
Right.
I like that vision. Well, I'm sorry to see you move up, but you're not moving out. I want to reassure everyone you're not moving out. You're still connected to the board. I am very excited to see what Robin's going to be bringing.
Yeah, Robin's going to be amazing.
She is going to be amazing.
She's so calm. And when she says something, she has thought about it and analyzed it. Like I'm more like a rocket, you know what I mean? And so she's
no.
And she's the exact opposite from me. And that's why I love her so much, because we were so good when she was the vice president, and I was the president, because I needed this yin yang, you know what I mean? Like,
if you look at the three of us, when I was president, I was more introverted and I stayed on that calm side. Then here comes Chris behind me.
What are you trying to say?
He's more extroverted. And I think you did so many things, moving IIPA forward and bringing other countries into IIPA. And I think that was kind of your mission, was to step outside and be more inclusive of other countries. And
isn't that when we had Australia under your? Yeah, you were the first one who brought us out of America finally. And
so here's your extroversion coming through. Then Birgit's behind you, and she's extroverted as well. But you can play both parts well.
Yeah,
you can play both, but you can be introverted when you need to be. But you're more dynamic than that. And then here we come along with Robin, and she brings that calmness, that introversion back into play. So you can see the peaks and the valleys that we all bring to this as different presidents.
Yeah, that's why I'm so excited when she said yes, because I wanted her to say yes, but you can't force it, you know what I mean?
That's right.
When she accepted, I felt like that is awesome. We finally need somebody who's like, you know, brings peace in it and you know, organizes it in a calm way. We need
And
that.
she's one of the most organized people. Oh, she's amazing.
Yeah.
She's literally run those webinars pretty much single-handedly
Oh, totally.
for a long time.
Yeah, so that's why I'm excited, and I know she'll be amazing, and I'm happy to be her past president, so I can watch and see how great she's gonna do it, because I know she doesn't need my help.
I remember back in the day when we started the webinars, and I think I was secretary. I'm not secretary, treasurer at that time. And I basically just kind of had Wanda and I both just kind of had that dumped in our lap, and we had to figure it out as we go. And then Wanda said, "You need to do the webinars," and I was like, "I can't. I don't know how to. I don't know how to do that." I went nuts, but I did it. And then when Robin came along, I was like, "Oh, Robin, you'll be really good at this."
And at first, I remember
she's been wonderful.
I remember when she was the first one introducing, you know, she was still like a little shy. And then she just ran with it, and nobody can do it better than her.
Yeah, she's great. She's great. Well, we're going to be talking to her very soon. I don't know that she even knows that right now, but I'm going to be
the next interviewee.
I'm going to be knocking on her door pretty soon. So oh, Birgit, I can't believe that we're almost to the end. We'll all be together in about 3 weeks or 4 weeks, and it's going to be a good time, bittersweet time. Yeah, but it will be good. We'll be good.
Yeah. So bittersweet for me, but you know, moving on in other directions, like you guys saw, iridology is always part of my business. It's pretty much 80% of my business, but I'm happy to kind of move back a little bit and watch from the outside now. You know,
being a president takes a lot of time through the week.
Yes.
To juggle your schedule.
No.
Like especially, you know, especially when we were doing the symposium virtual, there was no way of getting help because I was the one with the whole system in the basement. You know, like so. But it's worth it. Like it's like when you look back, I would never have changed a thing. Like I would do it again. Like it's not like that I'm like, okay, I'm happy it's over. It's kind of more like that was awesome, but also good that somebody else shows now what they can. You know,
I've said the same thing. I would do it again. I'm enjoying the break. I'm enjoying doing iridology around the world. I'm doing my writing, and I'm doing iridology quickies and teaching, and I love it. I love it. But I would do it if I was asked to do it again. I would do it again.
Yeah. Same for me. Yeah.
Yep. Me too.
Awesome. Thanks for having me on.
This has been great. This has been great for us to catch up and do this. And I'm going to get this on the air ASAP. I want everyone to hear from you before we end up in San Diego. But this has been great, and you've done a beautiful job. I want to commend you for your expertise and your know-how and your sweet spirit and your lively spirit. So you've brought a lot to the table, and I appreciate that.
Thanks.
And if you haven't bought your ticket to San Diego, get on the blower and do it now.
It's time. It's time.
We'd love to give you a proper hug in real life.
You're not going to get another chance to see 3 presidents in one room. Now there's probably going to be 3 more, so there could be 6 of us.
Yes, yes, exactly. But I'm going to be in the row of the past presidents then.
Well, we're in the past presidents too, but you know, there's going to be
there's going to be 5. There's going to be 5 because it's Betty Sue.
Oh, Betty Sue,
and Robin.
Yes. Robin is going to be the president. I'm the past. You the past. Kath is the past. Yeah. We have like 5 presidents at the symposium.
Well, Ellen will be there. She's a past.
Oh, Ellen, 6.
Yeah.
So there's going to be a whole gaggle of people to talk to and to visit with and to bounce ideas off of and to learn from. That's the most important.
And we have fun things in between those speakers. So we're entertained, have fun, and we also have a meet and greet. So there's like lots of like, you know, rubbing shoulders with each other. And really, I remember my first symposium after my kids were finally a little older, that I thought like, okay, I can trust my husband. He was like my youngest, like 3 or 4, I think. And it was in Orlando. And I remember when I finally saw the people in person, you know what I mean? Like Alan and on Tony Miller. Like I remember I was invited up to the room from Patty, you know, and Tony came in. I was literally like having a shock, you know, because I was reading her books and I was reading Alan's books and I studied with them. And I noticed, I see that still happening, you know, in-person symposiums where people get a little star shocked sometimes because we learn from all of them and they're suddenly all in one room.
Yeah. Yeah.
Loved it.
Yeah. I remember the early days. I remember way back in 2003 and
You
the
do?
people that I saw then and I'm
And
friends with now.
and you was like kind of like, oh my God, there's Ellen, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
oh
Yeah.
geez, I mean, there she is,
Yeah.
and there's
Yeah.
Tony, and there's, you know, I mean, like goes on, and you're just like, wow, wow.
I
We're
felt
all,
that way when I first saw Dr. Jensen. I thought
yeah,
I'd met a movie star.
yeah,
He was that important to me that
yeah.
I remember my heart just beating so fast.
See, and
Yeah.
for me, it was more like, you know, with Ellen and because Dr. Johnson was already passing at that time when I came to America then and studied here. But it's exciting. So when people see us talking right now, you have no idea how your heart is fluttering when you see people in this field for so many, like Leonard, you know what I mean? Like he has been amazing what he did with his research and everything. When you meet those people and they're still as passionate as they were when you met, probably,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yes, they are.
That's
They are.
phenomenal. Like that's when everybody should get in the plane, like, and book the plane right now.
That's right. We want to see
I'll book
everybody there.
Yeah.
Well, Australia, have a good rest of your
that.
day.
Thank
Pennsylvania,
you.
it's time for you to
Yeah.
go to bed. It's
Yeah.
almost time for me to go to
Yeah.
bed. So, with that, everybody has the invitation. We'll say good night and good day.
Yeah,
Adios,
exactly. Good night.
amigos.
Bye.
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 Bye.